Welcome to Real Girl Talk Podcast Radio. Welcome back to Real Girl Talk Podcast Radio. I am your host, Sherry Ricard. I am a medical professional, author, adversity recovery specialist, and co-founder of Silver Lining Wellness Company. I love sharing my faith and bringing you fascinating guests, Friday Fire messages, thinking outside the box, sharing ideas for business, beauty, and lifestyle abundance, and always committed to keeping it real. Now let's level up and let's dive in. Today's episode is sponsored by Monette. Anti-aging hair care and skincare, 30-day money-back guarantee, clinical proven results, all natural products. You can have Monette VIP discounts too. You can just go back to the show notes, click on the link there, or you can go to my Instagram, Real Girl Talk Podcast, and click in the bio link, Shop VIP Monette. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Sherry, your host of Real Girl Talk, and I have a special guest with you today because she is one of my very dear friends from Southern Charm of New Orleans, Kelsey Nichols. And if you follow her and Justin, you saw the big announcement on Monday that she and Justin are expecting their first baby, and it's a baby girl. We're super excited for her, and she is on today with us talking about everything that's been going on since the show ended until today. Are they getting married? Where are they living? And what have they been up to? Hello, Miss Kelsey. How are you?
Hi, Sherry. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I miss you so much. I'm so excited that you're back on the show, but I miss you.
How long has it been? A long time, huh?
It's been a long time because, guys, you may not know this, but Kelsey and I have been friends for, many years now. And we met in such a crazy way, literally met at the New Orleans airport at the gate. We met at the gate.
Yeah.
And I got on the plane and she couldn't resist me. And she asked if she could sit by me.
Yeah. And I don't sit by anybody on the plane. If I could have a row to myself, Justin could even sit in another row and I'd be fine.
Well, you know, it's so funny. Remember, like Justin got by the window and you sat in the middle and I sat in the aisle and we completely ignored him for the entire hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah. I honestly didn't even remember if he was on the flight with me or not, but
I know.
That's how people laugh.
And I bought the first drink because remember I said, "Hey, you want a drink?" That's
yeah,
what you could drink on a plane. We had the best
so
time. That was so awesome. And we stayed, we just like bonded and stayed friends. We've traveled together, worked together.
I was going to say, we've had a lot of conversations on planes.
We've had a lot of conversations on planes. We've taken a lot of selfies on planes too.
Yeah. Oh.
That's awesome.
So cute.
I'm so excited because I can finally talk about the fact that you're going to have a baby because we actually talked about it for years. Didn't know when it was going to happen. Made the announcement, and of course it hit the airwaves and people started asking a lot of questions. So we thought, hey, you know what? Let's come on the show. Let's really fill everybody in on what you've been doing because a lot of people were posting how much they miss you on Southern Charm of New Orleans.
I know. I was happy about that.
Yeah, that was really sweet. A lot of people miss you guys. And, you know, of course, us in Louisiana, we were proud of that show. So tell us a little bit about how did it end? How did that affect you when it ended? Brief everybody on how you felt about the show in general.
Digging in deep. Question one, right?
That's right. And that's just the first one.
That's just the first one. Yeah. Honestly, to be 100 with you, I was very relieved. Honestly, I don't know. I feel like this is a known fact, but maybe it's not that I was not on board with filming from the beginning. Yeah. That's why in season 1, for the first few episodes, I'm not in it because I was not in it. I was not for it. But I did it and they loved Justin and they needed a little more content for his life because they were meeting some hurdles for courthouse stuff. You can't film there, all that kind of stuff. So, I got a very strong push from a lot of people to hop on board. And so I did. But it was never really something that I love to do. It has provided a lot of really cool opportunities. And I can't say that I regret it, but I'm just not one. I just don't love being under a microscope so much. I usually don't put stuff out there that I don't want the whole world to know. Not that I carry a lot of secrets around, but I'm just a very private person. And, immediately the highlight or the focus was on our relationship, which we both have so much going on and we have so many great things happening that it was a little disappointing that that's all anyone wanted to hear about. But, it is a part of our life. It's a small part of our lives, but it's part of our lives. So, you sign up for what you get. I was very relieved. After every season end, it's a relief because it's very invasive. I'm working 12 hours a day and then I come home and then I'm filming and there's cameras and you have to go to these events and get ready, which is what we do anyways. But there's an extra amount of pressure applied when there's cameras around and you have to talk. You can't just go and have a good time. So, it's a relief. We miss the people that we work with, like the cameramen and the producers and all that kind of stuff. Like we really made close relationships, close bonds with them. So we didn't want them to leave. All the rest of it could go.
Now, speaking of that, what about the cast members? Do you see any of the cast, or does Justin see any of the old cast members?
Yeah. Him and Barry have always been really good friends. So him and Barry and Justin still go work out all the time when Justin's in town. And we keep in touch. We'll see people at events and stuff. But really, honestly, the last 2 years has been it's been just a very different lifestyle with COVID and all that. So the second we could get out again, we all went and had, met and had lunch and caught up. So the relationships are a little different just because life is different now. But we still talk to everyone and for the most part.
I mean, it's funny that you said that not that you have many secrets. I probably know about at least 80% of them.
All two of them.
I know where all the bodies are buried, Kelsey.
All 2 secrets, and one of them now the world knows. So the world knows. Pretty good.
So you've really had a lot going on since the show ended, and it kind of ended abruptly. You really didn't get notified that it was ending. You just never got re-notified that it would start back again. So it was kind of strange in itself, the way that happened. But since then, a lot of things. You and I met just really quickly right after that.
On the heels of that.
I mean, it was right after that. And I think that we were on a plane. We were going to Orlando, right? Because at the time I had a house in Orlando. You were on your birthday trip. And then quickly
going to Disney for the first time.
Oh, that's right. I remember you telling me that.
And then I've been back 4 times since then.
I know. I wanted to go that last time and I couldn't make it. You actually went to work for corporate America, and you and I worked together and we traveled together for almost a whole year. But since then, what's been going on since the show? A lot. So I guess start from there.
So since the show ended, first step was that I got a job in medical corporate America, which took me away from the bedside, but provided that whole education piece that I love so much. That was really fun. Traveled all over the United States. We were in a different place every week, which was hard, but it was really, really cool. Another thing that we did together is we both got our professional Botox and filler certification in Dallas. Right as they had lifted some mask mandates, and then they put them back on, and we were at the hotel. The restaurants weren't open, the pool wasn't open. We really couldn't do anything. But man, that was one of the funnest weekends.
It was fun.
I've had. So
that was fun.
Good, but so Botox and fillers are definitely something that I'm still trying to ramp up. I've moved. So
I know that's another big announcement. Nobody knows that you actually do not live here anymore.
I do not live in Louisiana. Well, okay. Part-time. We still have our house there. Justin still has his firm there. We are just in more of a commuter situation. So I had the opportunity I had just this wonderful job opportunity still in med corporate America, just with a different company. And it's allowing me to still be at the bedside, but I'm not at the bedside. I'm helping support the nurses in their practice at the bedside. And I love it. I love it so much. So Botox and fillers, nurse practitioner school. I'm working on getting my doctorate. and nursing practice. So that's still happening. It's just might be a little delayed a little bit.
Yeah.
And then my new job. So the new job required me to move to Texas. It was, in my opinion, a no-brainer because I'm back where I grew up. My parents, my aunt, uncle, all my cousins. My mom lives 4 minutes away from me.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So I really had no reservations. I never thought I would move back to to Austin.
Right.
But when I got the opportunity for the job, it was kind of like, you can't pass it
Right.
up. And Justin was on board. He was telling people before I told people, yeah, we got a townhouse. We got a townhouse here, and we have our house in New Orleans. But yeah, he's been
Nice.
the biggest supporter of all of it. But right after I accepted the job, had the townhouse, moved, and then pretty much right then it was surprise.
Surprise.
And we always laugh about it because I'm 4 minutes away from my mom and dad, who both just retired last year, my aunt, all my cousins and all that. So I have this huge family support.
Cool.
I have a really great job. I found a really great place to live. And then here we go. So it's almost like once you decide to take a leap of faith in any direction, life really, you think you're just making this one life choice. And
Right.
it's like, no, you're brave enough to take this next step and see how it goes. Well, here's some blessings along the road. So
Right.
I really,
Right.
it just feels like everything worked out behind
Yeah.
the scenes. I didn't even know that I needed to be here. I needed to be by my family. I needed to really take this job,
Right.
but something just pulled me in this direction.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a whirlwind, but man, am I thankful.
I know, right? God just kind of opened that door, and we talked about that. I mean, we talked about all the different doors and what you were going to do and what was I going to do. And, when we talked about getting the Botox certification, our idea was to, open a medical spa. And then we found out nursing practice for injecting is not, and Louisiana is not like it is in Texas. In Texas,
Right.
it's much more, the nurses have a lot more leeway over there. So you're in a great position to be able to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But, one thing that people were asking, and it's just a drum roll. Here's the drum roll. Did you and Justin get married, or are you getting married?
No.
No to both, or no to the first one?
We'll go with the first one first. Okay. No, we did not get married. It's clearly something, I'll just be frank with you. It became a hot topic on the show,
right?
A little bit too hot. And it was one of those things where we needed to take a step back from it. We just did. It was becoming something that neither one of us wanted it to be.
Right.
And it just wasn't. Nobody enters in a relationship or a marriage because someone else wants you to, or because someone else thinks that's the right path for you to take. And, I know I've seen some of the comments. I don't really read much of them, but some of them were saying, Kelsey gave an ultimatum. Like, that's not how ultimatums work. I just want to set the record straight. That was not an ultimatum. That was a lot of outside pressure talking in both of our ears, and me wanting to know where things stood and where we're going. Because what people don't understand is those were not really things that we had like in depth talked about.
Right.
Yeah, at this point we've been together for a long time, but when we were filming, we had only been dating for, y'all saw our first year anniversary on TV. Timeline wise, we did live together. We did move in with each other pretty quickly, and our relationship was going strong. So I understand why people were wanting to see that happen.
Sure. Yeah.
But it also doesn't necessarily happen just when people want it to. You had to kind of take a step back and just kind of take a breath and just kind of get back to where we were and why, just remember why we are doing this, why we were together in the first place.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit. That's been almost 3 years of our lives now.
Right.
And in the meantime, I took a completely new job that took me away all week long. I got back, I graduated with my bachelor's, then got back in school, then got my certification. So long story short, life has been moving very quickly, but there's been a
Mm.
lot of boundaries and hurdles. And I'm not getting married during COVID. I want a party. I want the ceremony to be 2 minutes long, and then I want to just have everyone I know and love there. Well, no, hold on, not everyone I know, but everyone I love to be there to celebrate.
Right.
I envision it being this huge celebrations,
Right.
happy, loving thing. To this point, we wouldn't have been able to have that. I
Right.
mean,
No,
they
you're
just
right.
are lifting the mask mandates right now. And that's another thing. I am not getting married with a mask on.
No, no, of course
So
not.
so it was one of those things where we just kind of took a step back. I'm continuing to pursue the things that I want to pursue in life. Justin's continuing he still has his legal practice. He still does his football. He has 3 clients this year. So that's keeping him really, really
Busy.
busy. He's at the combine right now, watching all these guys and meeting and mingling. So life didn't stop, and life would never stop because we're not married.
Right.
Um, yes, it's a goal. I'll be honest and tell you that the goal has shrunk a little because we have this beautiful blessing that we're now focusing on. I mean, a baby. We both always wanted to have a family, and
Right.
God chose it to be now. So I feel like it's kind of a weird thing for me to sit back and still be like, "Oh, I'm not married." It is what it is.
Right.
Life is how it is. It's clearly in the plan,
Yeah.
and I'm just going with it. And
I know. I don't blame you because I think it probably did become a lot bigger than it needed to. But then again, you and I have even sat down at dinner with Deandra from Housewives of
yeah,
Dallas, and we've had this discussion. And I've had a discussion with Monique Samuels from the Housewives of Potomac. And, it's, yes, the producers it's their job. It's not saying anything bad about Bravo or the producers because this is what you sign up for, right?
mhm,
But they do kind of instigate something that could be storyline, and they made it a storyline. And
yeah,
so it's like, do you get married because now you feel pressured to? And
right.
then the show ended and you started traveling, and then COVID, like, when was the right time?
When was the right time?
There was
Like
not
it's
a
just
right
not.
time
No,
to
no,
do it.
and you're not proposing to me on my birthday,
Right.
so that takes another month out of the year.
Yeah, you're not getting
And
off with that gift.
no, no, not Christmas, not Thanksgiving, not Valentine's Day. So,
Right.
that's all just to say, I mean, I know that I'm not the only one that feels like the last two and
Right.
a half, 3 years have been the longest and yet the shortest,
Yeah.
or at least not the shortest, but at least like the most unproductive years of our lives. I feel like we just have to call that a wash and move on. So,
Right.
I don't know. I'm 35 years old. I've lived life a little. I have a
Yeah.
little life experience, and the things that are important to me are always going to be important to me.
Right.
But I also live a little more realistic these days,
Right.
and he hasn't gone anywhere. I
Not
moved
going
to a
anywhere.
whole new state, and we're still making it work. So I would just like for people to focus on that and say, you know
Right.
what? Pivoting is good. You can't control everything.
Right.
And if it gets to the point where I feel like I have to have that or I
Right.
can't move on in our relationship, then we'll address that then. But I haven't, I don't feel that way. So
Right. Right. The focus is completely different. And
yeah,
and talking about the baby, so have you been coming up with it now that you know it's a girl? Because
it's a girl.
for the longest, but I think I told you that. I told you were carrying high, but for some reason I still was wanted to say boy, but
Yeah.
I don't know why I wanted to do that. So it's like,
It, I did the same thing because I've always known. I've always known. I think I told you this before. I've
yeah,
always known I would have a girl. Always, always,
that's
always.
crazy.
Was never a question in my mind. But so we weren't going to find out. We decided once we found out we were pregnant, it didn't matter if it was a boy or a girl. We just are excited that we get to be parents and let's have that surprise at the end. Well,
Right.
then we decided it might be for your first child. It's really hard to just decorate not that I was even really decorating in
Right.
nursery, but
Right.
like I don't want to, there are things you have to prepare for because I don't have a previous child to,
Right.
steal their stuff or like all of my friends' kids are a little bit older now. So,
Right.
there are things you need to buy and I don't want to buy everything in tan or white, it's just, I don't like sepia for the color scheme, you know what I mean? So, that was one factor. And then also I think we were both just kind of going with the flow and like we're excited, but like still kind of like, what's going on? And so it was really important to find out just so we could kind of put a face essentially to
Yeah.
the idea of it all. And I tell you what, the second that confetti came out, I really would have bet you $1,000 that I didn't care if it was a boy or a girl.
Yeah.
But just that whole day was kind of just when we did the gender reveal, it's just kind of like a happy blur. I was just like, on cloud nine. It was one of the best days of my life. But when the pink and gold glitter came out of that balloon, it was like from that second on, like I'm going to be a mother of a little girl.
I know.
And that little girl is going to have a name and she's going to have, ideas. And, I don't know. It just became so real. And seeing Justin, like he's actually really excited to be a girl dad. And he was telling me the other day, he has the Kobe mentality. I'm like, what could that mean? What are you talking about? Well, there's an interview that Kobe Bryant did several years ago, and someone asked him, do you think you'll try again to have a boy? Or is there anything inside of you that kind of wishes that you had a boy to carry on your legacy? And he was like, no, girls are awesome. Like I wouldn't want anything other than this because girls can do everything we can do and more.
That's
and
right.
He was like, I'm the eternal girl dad, and I've never once had any qualms about it. Aww. And so when he said that, it just gave me the chills because it's so sweet. It's true, but it's just so sweet for a man to recognize that and be on board with it so soon.
Justin's just a sweetheart anyway. I love Justin to death.
I
love him to death.
Too.
Wendell and I just adore you guys. We always have so much fun when we're together. We never have a dull moment.
Yeah, it's like always just whatever. We just like to have a good time. We love being around people. It's just that's what life is about.
Great. He's great. Yeah. And your focus is all about the baby, and your focus is going to change. That's just the way it is. And I know before you were doing social influencing and different things, and now you're kind of geared more toward you're going to be doing social influencing for moms to be and baby stuff. And speaking of that, your little outfit is adorable. Whose outfit is that?
Yeah, so I'm wearing a bump suit, which y'all will be hearing a lot more about it here now that I can, post and share things.
Right.
But it's been a journey finding cute, affordable pregnant women clothes. Maternity clothes are they're either non-existent or they're so uncomfortable that whoever buys this is really not pregnant. There's no way. So, but the bump suit is just, I don't know. It's like walking in a cloud around.
That's
like
so cute.
You feel like you're in pajamas, but you're not. You look real cute. And so I'll be talking about that a lot more. But I've also I also have a lot of questions because most of this stuff is not just, well, A, you're not born learning this stuff, and B, it's not like there should be more preparation involved. So I mean,
there's not a handbook, Kelsey.
No, but there has to be someone that's done this before that could share some knowledge.
I did 3 times.
Exactly. But for instance, I was just with my best friend earlier. We were getting our nails done. And I was looking at a car seat yesterday. I was at Target and I was looking at a car seat because, that's like everyone keeps asking me and I'm not even there yet, Baby showers are being planned and I'm like, I don't know. So got to get on board. So I'm looking at this car seat. It's really cool. I really like it. So I'm telling her about it. And she's like, well, do you know if it's plastic based or metal based? And I was like, no, I mean, there wasn't a display, but like, I'm sure it was probably plastic based, thinking plastic would probably be like better.
Right.
I don't know. I was caught off guard by the question, but I was like, I'm pretty sure it was plastic. And she's like, nope, that's not good. Because now you're in the Texas heat and Louisiana, like both of those places are hot. And those things can distort. It can distort the shape of the car seat if you keep it in the car because of how hot it gets outside. Well, where in the hell was I supposed to learn? So now I'm like, well, I guess I can't get a car seat for the baby. We're never going to go anywhere. You're going to melt in the back of the car. Like,
see, it's like you're going to be going from all this other chatter that you're used to be talking. Now you're going to be talking about car seats and Tylenol doses for babies and what's the best diapers. So yeah, I can see this. We're going to have some real interesting conversations, and I'm going to pull the mama card out because I do that on you anyway.
Yeah. No, I love it. And also all of my friends, my cousins, every single person in my life, well, except for one friend, they all have boys.
Well, I've got my little Roxanne, so I can talk girls with you all day long.
Exactly. So there you go. I would love your input. But that also is different too. The type of diaper depends on the type of baby and their sex. So
oh gosh, I don't even know what they have for babies anymore. It's probably ridiculous. It's probably so much stuff that I wished I had 30 years ago. Like, you know what? When Christina was born, I don't know. There was just Huggies. I don't know.
Yeah.
There was just one suction thing for a nose. I don't know.
No. And that, don't even get me started on the nose sectioning, because they have an apparatus that you use your suction in your mouth to suck out the mucus and yes, it's a one-way valve. So the suction is applied, but but I'm saying you might not have needed all this stuff. There's just like anything, there's too much.
That's too much.
It's almost got me like stuck in my tracks. I have gotten a couple of things for her, but I'm like,
well, it is going to be fun. And I love you, girl. And thank you so much. I appreciate you. And for people that have been living under a rock and are not following you yet, what is your Instagram?
It's at Kelsey Brianne Nichols.
Thank you, honey. I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And I'm going to see you in 4 weeks.
Yes.
We have a baby shower in New Orleans. So
almost to the day. Yes.
4 weeks. And I can't wait to see you. I miss you so much. Thank you, girl. I love you. Thanks for filling everybody in.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for tuning in all the way through Real Girl Talk Show. Make sure you subscribe anywhere you listen to podcasts. And if you happen to have iTunes, would you do me a favor and leave me a review on the show? I know you're going to leave me a 5-star, right? That's the way that I can reach more and more people around the world. Remember, whatever you wish to receive, you have to first give. And I know that you're the kind of person that wants to reach people all over the world and inspire them. You can copy this link and share it with your family and friends. Share it on social media. Remember, people need to be uplifted and inspired more than ever today. Thank you so much for being a part of Real Girl Talk community. And until next time, go after your dreams, create your vision, and truly be the person God intended you to be. Healthy, happy, whole, and full of life. Love you.